Everyone, it's Autumn. Today I want to talk about this kit that I purchased from Estee Lauder. So they have a thing going on to where if you purchase $45 worth of Estee Lauder products, you can buy this kit for $75. So I went ahead and I got it so that I could review it for you guys. And I think they do one of these around every Christmas, every holiday. Well, not like every holiday, but like every winter holiday. Does that make sense? Anyway, so you get this kit, and for $75, you could actually purchase this for $75, so then everything else is kind of worth it. But just in case you're not somebody who's into skincare, I'm gonna spoil this for you. Kit's probably not worth it for $75 if you don't enjoy their skincare. So if you're curious about the makeup in the kit, I'm gonna go ahead and show you a full face using these products. And then after that, I am gonna do an overall review of the kit. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into putting on some of the makeup. Most of the makeup that I'm gonna be using is obviously from the kit that I got, kind of just to see the quality of it, and I'll touch more on that at the end of the video. I have actually already used it once because I did film myself using it before. And then I felt like when I started to go into the editing, I was rambling a lot, so I'm gonna try not to do that and maybe organize my thoughts now in this video. So I'm gonna start off with using this Double Wear foundation. It's not in the kit, but I figured I would try to do as much Estee Lauder as possible. And I'm just gonna kind of put it all over my face. This foundation's really good if you need coverage, and then you can apply it with a brush and kind of stipple it on. And you can get, you know, close to full coverage with it. What I like to do is use a beauty blender. Sometimes I go in with the brush and do it that way too, but beauty blender is usually my favorite method. Usually I don't film this early in the morning. Yeah, it's like 9:50, but usually I am doing my house chores around this time. And I didn't notice that, like, my side window over here, you can kind of see on the wall that you can see some of those shadows. So excuse that. Normally I do my filming between like noon and 2. So I wish that this foundation came with a pump. You can buy a pump, which I don't know, that kind of annoys me a little bit. Like, if you know that people want a pump and they don't want to have to put their fingers into the foundation, just put the pump on there. Like, that's ridiculous. I did my eyebrows and my skincare before, so I'm actually trying to avoid my eyebrows right now, but I'll probably have to touch them up again. So I'm gonna do my concealer really quick off camera because it's not an Estee Lauder concealer, but if you're curious, I'm gonna be making a concoction with my It Bye Bye Under Eye. This shade's a little bit light for me though, so I'm gonna have to go in with something a little bit deeper too, but I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and we're gonna go ahead and jump into these palettes. One is called the Candy Glam, and the other is called Candy Glow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of start using and mixing between both of them. And I'm also not gonna really give any opinions on any of the products until the end, just because I am trying to organize the video a little bit better so I'm not all over the place. So let's just go ahead and jump in, and I'll maybe put some nice music behind it or something so you don't have to hear me talk. ahead and talk about the kit and kind of give some final thoughts and everything. And I want to start out with just bottom line, is this kit worth the $75 that you have to pay for it? And it 100% is. This right here retails for $75. And if you're somebody who uses this on a regular basis, just buying this pays for the rest of the kit. But this full-size moisturizer is also $59. This eye cream is $66. I'm not gonna include the little versions of each thing and with the amount of money or the value, which yes, they do have value, but usually I can get things that size just shopping at Sephora and putting in a code. This eye makeup remover is also a $22 value. It's a full size. And this mascara retails for $29. So obviously it's worth the $75. This is a great value. So with all of that out of the way, I kind of want to talk about some of the areas that they missed in. Obviously, the biggest miss for me are the lipsticks. The colors that they chose are Tiger Eye and Excite. And while I could go, since this is a holiday sort of kit, I could go for Excite. Then pairing it though with the eyeshadow kits, those colors come across very dated and 80s to me, which of course you don't have to wear them all together. But even me making this really soft, subdued eye look that I have on right now, it wouldn't look good with either of these colors. I cannot stand any lipstick that has glitter in it. And as you can see, I already did a close-up. Tiger Eye has very chunky, uncomfortable glitter in it. And it's actually quite irritating on the lips. I bought a lipstick kit that also contains Tiger Eye along with some other things. I'm gonna feature this in another video, but this is one of the things that I bought in order to be able to buy this value kit. But it also came with Tiger Eye, and I don't understand their obsession with this shade. It's uncomfortable on the lips, it's not flattering. When I put it on my lips, it reminds me, and I don't know if you guys have seen the show, it's been several years ago now, but there was a character called Mr. Gold who was also like the equivalent of Rumpelstiltskin. I think the show was called Once Upon a Time. It's what my lips look like. They look very dry and cracky, and you can see the glitter, and it's not flattering at all. I don't know who is wearing this. Also, they value each lipstick at $33, which is how much they charge for the regular full-size lipsticks from their line. The packaging is different though, and the regular packaging, I don't have one to show you here now because I've decluttered my Estee Lauder lipsticks, but it's actually very luxe heavy packaging with a magnetic closure on it. And these are super, super cheap packaging. They're not even as nice as say like L'Oreal. This is even nicer packaging than the cheap Estee Lauder ones here. So I do want to point that out. While the product may be the same in there, I'm hoping that it's not though, because I'm hoping that they're not charging people $33 for this shade of lipstick. The value really isn't the same. And also, maybe because normally when I wore Estee Lauder lipsticks before, and I'm not much of a lipstick person and I'm more of a dabber, the first time I filmed this video, I tried these lipsticks all on and I put them on full force and they slid all over my mouth and I got them all over my teeth and they didn't really stay in place. And I don't remember the originals doing that. That could also be, again, because I wear them differently. So I just kind of wanted to point that out as well. So jumping into the little eyeshadow kits here, the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that when you get this little kit, you get this thing right here, and it shows you two different looks that you can get. So you've got the Glow palette and the Glam palette. So I believe this is the Glam and this is the Glow. So by using these particular models for these, I do want to point out that the Candy Glow palette that they have her using, they include a bronzer that is lighter than her skin tone. This is not going to show up on her. This is a medium depth bronzer. I do appreciate them trying to use a woman of color as a model, but then also you can barely see any of the look on her eyes or how she got to that look. Which they give you instructions on what she used. So yeah, so this is what they say she used. It says they start with the Pure Color Envy Candy Glow eyeshadow palette. Okay. Apply number 2 all over the lid and along the bottom lash line. So again, it's this shade right here that's like a copper, which you can barely see on her and it kind of washes out a little bit. And then it says touch the inner corner with number 8, which is this shade right here, and sweep on brow bone to highlight, and then diffuse number 4, which is this one right here, from half of lid to outer corner. And then it says using a damp angled brush, line the top lash line with number 7, which is this shade right here, which is also the same shade that I used, and I did have to dampen it to do that. And I can just tell by looking at this, they had to use an actual eyeliner on her. There's no way they used number 7 for that. And then they paired it with the red lipstick in Excite. So yeah, that's kind of the look that they went for there. It also said that to sculpt the face with the bronzer, which again is lighter than her skin tone, so she's not gonna do much sculpting with that. Okay, so while we're also on the subject of that bronzer, I happen to have the exact same shade that I got when I bought my Bronze Goddess perfume. It came in a little kit with this. All right, so the color isn't the same. If you look in this one, look at all the sparkle, and then this one doesn't have that sparkle in it. And I don't know if you can tell, this is a little bit warmer and this leans a little bit cooler. And actually, yeah, you can tell a little bit better back here. This is a little bit darker. While that color in this actually looks great on my pale white lady skin, them using the black model for this, you know, obviously I'm just gonna beat a dead horse with that one. Using a black model and telling them that this is gonna sculpt their face is a no-go for me. All right, so then going to the next little kit here, and I was gonna actually follow the instructions and just do one of these looks. The more I looked at these looks, I'm saying look a lot, but the more I looked at them, I realized that they're not even following their own instructions, especially on this one, it's very noticeable. So on this one right here, it says start with the Pure Color Envy Candy Glam eyeshadow palette. This one right here. Sweep number 1 on top of brow bone to highlight. So there is number 1. Super, super pale. Starting at the inner corner, apply number 4 all over the lid up to the brow bone. And that is this shade right here, which is what I used on my inner corner. And if we look at her, she's not wearing that shade in the inner corner or up to the brow bone. Yeah, she's not wearing that shade on the inner corner or up to the brow bone. That's not the shade she is using. But moving on. And then it says diffuse number 2 all over number 4, keeping the inner corner as is, which again, the inner corner does not have like the silvery blue on her thing, but this is the shade that they then want that for. And then it says, repeat the step until desired intensity. Using a damp angled brush, line the top and bottom lash lines with number 6. This is number 6. And you can tell that they lined it, but they also used number 6 into her outer corner, a little bit like on the center. You can tell that they used number 6. And then also you can tell that they used the purple shade in this palette, again on the outer corner and diffused under the lash line a little bit. So they may have used these shades, but the look is more complicated than what they're telling you it is and how to achieve it. And they also lined the waterline and didn't even talk about it. Like, if they're trying to tell you how to achieve a look, even if the product isn't in this kit, tell us what you used. That's how you're gonna sell product. That makes 0 sense to me. And then it says add a sugar sweet lip with Pure Color Envy lipstick and Tiger Eye. All right, so we all saw Tiger Eye and we saw how chunky it is. Look at her lips. Do you see any glitter in this photo? There's no glitter in the photo. I'm gonna go ahead and put Tiger Eye on and we can compare. This feels really uncomfortable going over my lips. Like it's scratching my lips. And I also had a gloss slash balm on before I applied this, and it's still really uncomfortable. The first time I applied it on just regular dry lips, and it was even worse than what it is now. And then I'm gonna blot. Because again, hers doesn't look as shiny as mine, but again, I had on a lip balm underneath. So I'm gonna blot, and when I blot this, all the lipstick comes up, it doesn't really stay, and it just leaves the glitter behind. I was close enough, you probably were able to count all my chin hairs. Okay, let me back this up. I just wanna know who's wearing this lipstick. It's not flattering. Yeah, it's just leaving tons of glitter behind. And I completely forgot to mention that in this palette, this is what they call in here their Pure Color Envy Sculpting Blush in Modern Mercury. Modern Mercury is actually part of their highlighter range, which is normally a gelée formula, which I will show you. I do have one from that range, and I have Heat Wave, which is more of a gold, but the formula is completely different. It's a gelée, which this on my skin tone can be worn as a blush, but if you're any deeper than me, it's gonna be a highlight, which it's pretty light and still looks kind of highlighty, so it's kind of a mix between the two. So there it is, and there it is on my hand. It's very pretty. I'm not gonna say that it's not, but also it's not from their blush line. But I was kind of confused as far as the eyeshadows. A lot of the time when these kind of kits come out, they tell you what eyeshadow you're using from like what quad or kit that they have in their regular range, because they're not giving you very much product in here. And if you find an eyeshadow shade that you absolutely love in one of these, you're gonna have no idea what to buy to replace it. And while these aren't like the most pigmented eyeshadows ever, they blended really well and they worked really well. So I have no issue with them. But I did want to point out that like they have like only, I think 5, I think they're quints, because it's like a 4 pan and then a longer shade to the side. So I think they've got like around 5 quints in their line. But some of these shades I haven't seen in any of the quints. So I don't even know how they came up with this. And obviously they don't want to like give you all of their eyeshadow shades in the kit, but it would have been nice had they done a mix and told us what is from the permanent range and what is limited edition only to this kit, because you have no way of knowing. These kits are also a little bit confusing as far as color story, and it helped me a little bit to break these in to quads. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. And that might have been what they had intention, but maybe they should have marked it that way, because if you look at these all together, it just looks like a really wild mix of colors and not very well thought out. So I do want to mention that I have been loving and using the mascara. It's become one of my favorites really quickly. I think it's a great mascara, so that's also something in here that I think is worth it. I'm also going to be holding on to these for a while, and I have tons of eyeshadows, but I do like the bronzer and the highlight, along with like these shades that just kind of blend effortlessly. I don't know how well they really wear throughout the day. Maybe I'll test that out and get back to you guys, but I think these are pretty effortless as far as what they do. I wouldn't wet the shadows though, like it said, and use them as liner, because I can already see now that it's hardly visible at all. Like the liner, it's not gonna last. Just use a real eyeliner. So touching really quickly on Estee Lauder overall as a brand, I'm gonna tell you that I had a really hard time finding something on their website that I wanted to purchase in order to get this kit. So I already had their foundation, because normally I feel like this is what people kind of go for, and I already had that. So if you were gonna get this kit to kind of last you throughout the entire year, I would suggest getting like, if you just got like their foundation, like maybe a concealer, that would get you to enough money to be able to buy this kit. And really you would have a full face for the whole year if you weren't like super particular about your makeup, but you still wanted something kind of nice. I mean, you're obviously probably gonna wanna get a different lip product, or you can be like me and just wear gloss and chapstick throughout the year. But this is a really great value for somebody who maybe only buys their makeup to restock and they're not quite like the collector or the obsessive with their makeup. But the brand as a whole is a little bit confusing to me, because they have several really great sort of cult products. Well, I wouldn't say several. Their foundation, and then their Heat Wave bronzer, their Bronze Goddess, like the bronzer, and I don't know if they still keep that in stock or not though, I didn't look. Like the Bronze Goddess bronzer, and then the Bronze Goddess perfume. I feel like those are like cult products, everybody loves them. Everything else on the website is kind of like meh. And their eyeshadow quints, the color stories aren't really that good either. Like they don't like really excite me. And I feel like a lot of their stuff is just dated. But overall, I'm quite happy that I got this kit. I think it's a great value, and I'll use everything in this kit except for these lipsticks. Because this is super bright, although it's a fun lipstick. Maybe let me just try it on. So this is a super, super vivid red. And it's definitely one you're gonna wanna build up and don't just put all on all at once, because if you do that, again, it moves a lot, gets all over your teeth. And you'd probably want a lip liner with it too. Let me go ahead and grab a lip liner. Wait one sec. All right, so I have some lip liner on. Let's just go ahead and finish applying this. Make sure you guys can see. And this is a beautiful red. It doesn't actually make my teeth look yellow like a lot of sort of orangey based shades do. Like the Tiger Eye actually makes my teeth look yellower than what they are. And there it is, blotted out. So actually, I don't hate the red lipstick in here. Is it something I'm gonna wear every day? Absolutely not. But it is a really fun holiday red. Again, still confused about Tiger Eye here. All right, so let's talk about them calling this a 29-piece kit. If you're just counting what comes in this thing here, like individual pieces, a lot of them are out now. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 pieces. But here's the thing. They count each individual pan here as one piece. So that's a little bit obnoxious. And also you're not getting that much product in here. And so for them to say this overall is a $550 value, I added up all the full size stuff and that came to $251. So that would be, they're saying these minis, the lipsticks, and then these is like a $300 value. It's not. I have no idea how they're coming to that number. And then I think they're also adding into the value and the amount of pieces, the bag that this came in. And let me grab it really quickly. All right, so this is the bag that it came in, or the case that everything came in. And you can't really use this. Like it's beautiful for gift presentation if you were gifting this kit to somebody. It's beautiful instead of like maybe wrapping the gift. You don't really have to, just give this to them. But it's not sturdy. So it's not like you can use it to like carry your stuff in. I would be worried that this thing would kind of like fall apart or get crushed if I were to try to travel with it. And I kind of know why they did it like this. So presenting it like this is like, oh my gosh, I'm really getting quite the gift. And it also kind of protects everything. But my thing is they could have used tissue paper and then just put it in a makeup bag, and then you, oh my gosh, am I popular? So if they were to actually put it in a smaller but usable makeup bag and just wrap everything in tissue paper, it actually would have been better, because then they could have unwrapped each thing or whatever. So I know that they did this for presentation purposes, but this is pretty much useless after that. And I feel like a lot of these are probably gonna end up in thrift stores or in the landfill, because I have no idea what people are gonna use that for. So yeah, overall, I do think that this was a great value. There were just a few things that I probably would have changed had I been the one curating this. But I will say I'm gonna use most of the products in here, probably just not the lipsticks, especially the Tiger Eye one. That one is a mess. But yeah, I'm happy that I got it. If you guys have purchased this, let me know what you think. I'll leave like any links and how to get it down below if you're interested, and I will talk to y'all very soon. Bye.